Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Box Office Bros. We are your hosts. I'm Anthony.
I'm Liam.
And we are going to be talking about some movies and some Madam Web. How was your weekend? How have you been since we last recorded?
What a week it's been. We had the Super Bowl.
Yes.
It was exciting.
Which we're going to be talking about a lot.
We had a picturesque snowstorm.
Yep. Amazing snowstorm. I went sledding.
Yeah, I had to drive on the highway to go to work during it. Risked my life
sliding?
for the boss.
You did some Fast and Furious tricks in the car?
Yeah, I was breaking like a whole NBA court away from the traffic lights. It was absurd.
I would like to see that in a movie one day.
It was absurd.
Well, we are going to be talking about the Super Bowl a lot, so let's just get right into it. We have had quite a lot of trailers released over the last week, mostly around the Super Bowl.
I'm going to be real, I did not see any of these during the Super Bowl. When the commercials come on during the Super Bowl, it's my time to just not look at the TV.
I'm the opposite. When the game comes on, I'm like, I'm heading off.
Yeah, see, that's just not me. I can't get excited about ads, even for good movie trailers. So
listen,
is it true that they had a Super Bowl commercial where it was like a fake documentary about the Geico Gecko?
I honestly don't remember. I'm not gonna lie,
because I heard through some people on the internet that was a trailer, and if so, I gotta say, I think it's a damn shame that they think that anyone loves that insurance company mascot. Like, if you love the Geico Gecko, you got played by an insurance company.
I don't know if I saw that commercial, because while I was watching the Super Bowl and waiting for some of these trailers, I indulged in some alcoholic beverages because I wanted to get really drunk for this trailer that we were about to talk about, that being Deadpool 3. Which I was so excited about. This was my most anticipated trailer of the year. It's my most anticipated movie, and this trailer just doubled down on it. This trailer showed me everything that I wanted in a Deadpool. It had the rated R jokes directly at Disney, which I enjoyed. It showed you, like, no, we're going to take this seriously. We got the TVA from Loki in here. We're going full multiverse. Hopefully it's going to be good this time. I am so excited for July.
It is very nice to see a nice yellow Wolverine suit.
Yes.
For far too long, it has been the Bryan Singer all black. What would you prefer? Yellow spandex? And it's like, it looks fabulous.
I mean, this trailer just shows me that I think Marvel knows their mistakes in their past movies, and they're like, let's give the fans what they want. They
really need this one.
They do
to be good,
and it doesn't look like it's Disney-fied at all.
The jokes about Ryan Reynolds being the Marvel Jesus. I mean, I think that's what they're hoping for. Because has anyone actually been excited about any of the Marvel movies? I mean,
honestly,
I saw Ant-Man Quantumania.
I was excited for Guardians 3, but Guardians 3 was kind of disappointing for me. I know that's a hot take. I know a lot of people love that movie. I do think Guardians 3 is my least favorite of the three. But it's been a while since I've been excited for something, and I feel like this trailer was more exciting than the last couple of Marvel movies. Like, this trailer was definitely better than Marvel's.
See, I just feel like no matter what's like going on around the rest of the Marvel world, Ryan just always wants to have a good time with the character, because it does seem like he really enjoys playing Deadpool. If I had to throw my hat in the ring there. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. I'm hoping for a more like animalistic Wolverine than what we've gotten in the past. Even though Hugh Jackman did do a good job, and I'm excited to see him return, I don't hate his performance at all. I mean, he's been the only consistent
and you know what's crazy?
Good thing about the X-Men movies.
We weren't alive for this because we were born in 2002, but when he was first cast, people were pissed off because he was like too tall or something like that.
Yes.
And now people are so excited for him to return, which is crazy.
Yes.
What a great casting that no one knew that was great at the time. But this movie, it says it's going to change the course of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I have a little theory. I don't know if you want to get into theories right now.
I feel like every Marvel thing has said that.
Wait. In the trailer, you see him fighting on a snow area with like a lot of trees and everything. Age of Ultron.
See, you brought that up to me, but it just kind of looks like a forest in the snow.
He is going to save Quicksilver from dying.
It does not specifically look like that to me. I don't know.
They show it in the trailer. They show the clip of the Avengers in the beginning of Age of Ultron.
If that's what it is, I will actually give you $100.
Oh my god. I think he's going to save Quicksilver from dying because he's going to be changing the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's going to be the reason that the MCU gets fixed. They're going to get rid of all the problems. He's going to go full on Deadpool. Look us in the eye and be like, you don't like this movie? Scratch it.
But why are they bringing back Quicksilver? I mean, that character...
They brought him back in WandaVision, kind of.
I do not care if they do it as, like, the Evan Peters one, and, like, they're like, well, he didn't really get to do that much in the X-Men movies, aside from, like, the one special scene he got in each movie, then, like, whatever, but...
Well,
I like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think he's a good actor, but I did not think he was good as Quicksilver. I thought that shit sucked.
Well, I'm still excited for Deadpool 2. But on to our next trailer, we have the Wicked trailer, which is a movie that I'm very excited for. And this trailer just showed me how much effort they're putting in for, like,
I do have to say...
The setting looks amazing.
It does look way cooler than I was expecting. I mean... I don't really have a lot of opinions on this because, I mean, I saw the play, like, probably longer ago than I can count on my two hands. I mean, I remember enjoying it, like, well enough, but, you know, it's just...
Well,
I'm interested to see what they do with it, I guess.
I didn't realize this, but Jeff Goldblum is playing the Wizard. He's playing the Wizard of Oz. I'm excited for that casting, and I'm gonna...
That's a good casting choice.
I'm gonna hope for the best. We'll see what happens, though. Next trailer, Planet of the Apes, the movie that you were very excited for, had its second trailer.
Yeah, I think it's crazy, like, how far the ape motion capture technology has come. I mean, I love that first, like, Rise of the Planet of the Apes movie, but... I gotta say, the one with James Franco in it, who... Yikes.
We don't talk about him anymore.
Yeah, But yes, that movie, the apes, they kind of look like shit, even though I love it to death. And I mean, some of it still holds up, but anytime the apes have to fight, it just looks horrible. But I mean, now it just looks seamless.
I still gotta watch these movies.
I would literally think that they actually just got apes and were walking and talking. I mean, maybe I just get fooled easily by...
Technology is being... used to the greatest capacity in these movies. It's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. And I was kind of expecting the quality of the visual effects to fall off with Matt Reeves leaving, because I feel like he does a very good job incorporating visual effects into the overall, like, look and aesthetic of his movies. But I gotta say, the Maze Runner guy, I mean, from the trailer, it looks pretty good. And I think the conflict is interesting, like, now that we're getting to see...
This human is, like... Yeah, one of us.
Like, it seems that the like, reign of apes, how we got to the point, you know, it seems like it was a little more conflicted on the inside.
I'm so excited to go back and rewatch these movies. I don't really know much about any of the stories because I've never watched any of these movies, but I'm really excited to delve into it to prepare for this movie coming out in May. But before we get to May, there's another ape movie coming in March. Godzilla x Kong. The New Empire.
Alright, I gotta say...
I'm so excited for this, you have no idea.
I think the baby Kong kind of looks like shit. I think that's one of the ugliest CGI creations I've seen in recent memory. It literally looks like...
Oh, you're gonna be mean to the baby?
I don't think Godzilla looks that good when he's, like, running like that.
Yeah, it's kind of odd to see him like that.
It does not look good to me. I mean... I have to watch Godzilla vs. Kong because this franchise has gone in a way more, like, futuristic...
Out of nowhere, like, too. Within 2 movies.
Yeah.
Not even.
I mean, it seems like they're just really, like, switching it up each movie and seeing, like, what sticks, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Skull Island was my favorite of all of the movies. The 2 Godzillas, the Kong, and then the Godzilla vs. Kong.
I'll have to revisit that one.
I
did not care for Skull Island when I watched the first time.
With Godzilla vs. Kong, the human characters suck. And that's why when we were watching -1, it was so nice and refreshing to see a story that you cared about the humans in the story.
Yeah, like, wow, I can actually give a shit about this.
So that's why I'm kind of hesitant on this one, because I'm like, I don't want to see these humans being at conflict with
Yeah.
one another. I just want to see these two
I
things
feel like
fighting.
I've seen so many stories recently where there's like a character that has an inexplicable connection with other characters in the plot, and a central part of the movie is figuring that out. I can't list any examples off the top of my head, but like, I don't know. Why do I feel like there's been... I guess it's just the Marvels and Madam Web. I guess the Monsterverse has just gone down the
Listen,
Marvel path of storytelling.
There was only one thing that they need to do in this movie to win me over. Just give me 2 CGI monsters battling it out with one another. That's all I care for. I want to see Godzilla and Kong teaming up against this new threat.
If it looks good, then that's
that
fine.
Infinity Gauntlet on Godzilla.
I gotta say, I did not care for a lot of like the design choices in this trailer. I gotta say,
it's mad stupid, but I don't care. It looks great. It looks just like, bam.
We'll see what
happens. But that's all of the Super Bowl trailers that I wanted to discuss. But something else happened that came out of nowhere. Moana 2 is happening, and it's coming out this November. They did not announce this movie at all until just a week ago.
It's crazy to me that we're getting this movie and live-action Moana at the same time.
Well, you want to know why? Because last year in 2023, Moana was the most watched movie on any streaming platform, original content or not. Moana was the most watched movie. So
this is just like a prayer, like...
Like, this is the
guys.
movie that people put on repeat at home. Like, kids are obsessed with Moana. I love Moana. I am so excited for this. It's going to do so well at the box office. Disney needs a movie like this.
I mean, I love Moana, but I don't know how to feel about this, honestly.
Well, we have Ali Carvalho and Dwayne Johnson back.
I mean, I guess, but in the span of 10 years, we're getting the original Moana. We're getting Moana 2, and then we're getting a live-action remake of the original Moana. So it's like...
Plus...
Like, at one point, this studio, like, pioneered Western animation, and now it's just... Like, you watch this a lot on streaming because we really fucked up Disney Plus, and now nobody wants to go out and see our movies. So we're just gonna make more Moana-related content for you to go out and pay $20 to.
This is like the new Frozen.
Like, yeah.
I think it's gonna easily get Disney. I don't know if it's gonna hit $1 billion, but it's gonna get damn close.
I mean, maybe. I really hope it doesn't, because I mean, Disney's got to learn that you can't just you can't. I mean, it was. When did the first one come out? 2015? 16?
Yes.
It was 8 years ago, and they're already giving us the nostalgia bait. I mean, I was in 8th grade. I was in, like, 9th grade when this movie came out.
Most sequels would come out within a couple of years of one another, though.
I mean, Moana 2 is one thing, but for it to come out with a live-action remake of the original, I think that's pretty ridiculous.
So, the live-action was decided on after the animated movie, so I'm going to give you a plot synopsis. So, it says that Moana's going to head on a new adventure into dangerous, long-lost waters when she receives a message from her ancestors. Now, even though we didn't know about this movie coming out this year, we kind of did. Because this was not supposed to be a movie. It was supposed to be a Disney Plus original series that they're turning now into a movie. They're going to re-edit the entire show into a movie.
It's like the reverse of what they did with Obi-Wan.
Yes, kind of. So that's why I'm kind of worried about this movie, because if it's supposed to be a TV show, why are you going to, like, merge into a movie? It's going to kind of go all over the place.
Yeah, usually movies are movies and TV shows are TV shows. There's a reason why the stories are structured so differently, you know?
So that's why I'm kind of concerned about this movie, but Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, said that the show is too good to be put right on Disney Plus, that it was meant to be seen in a theater. That was more of a movie-level story. It wasn't some, like, TV show plot.
I mean, I guess he's seen it and
he's all about the creatives.
Not, so
yeah, he loves creatives at Disney. I'm sure he would have been like, this does not need to be put in movie theaters.
He also loves making money as a CEO of a very large company.
I don't think he's as stupid as Sony that just puts their movies in the theaters when they are literally one of the worst things that you could ever watch. We'll talk about Madam Web a little bit later. But I think he would know if this show was not meant to be a movie, he wouldn't have made it into one. So I have hope on that.
They need a fucking Hail Mary, that company.
Listen, we have a lot of stuff coming. We even have more stuff coming because they also announced Zootopia 2 coming out next November.
I do not care for the original.
Frozen 3 and Toy Story 5 2026.
I neither of those move me either.
I am so excited for Toy Story 5.
Obviously you are.
I am the biggest Toy Story fan in the entire world. You have no idea. So, that I'm excited for. People are so mad they're making another one. You complained about when they made a third one. You loved it. You complained when they were making a fourth one. Most of you loved it. So, I think they're going to do well on the fifth one.
I did complain about them making a fourth one, and I loved it, so I guess I'll hear them out, but...
Pixar does let you down, but not as often as other studios, so I have trust in them. But we'll find out. Also, Frozen 3, I'm really excited for. They also announced the Frozen 4. This is going to be their next Marvel-related. They're going to make a whole franchise out of Frozen. They're going to have spin-offs everywhere. This is the most successful movie that they've ever had. So, not surprising they already have Frozen 3 and Frozen 4 coming. But, yeah, and then Zootopia 2. Which, I honestly didn't care for the first one. I like it, but I don't love it like other people.
Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde are just memes to me.
Kind of so. We'll find out with that movie. But yeah, in other news, guys, we got some big news yesterday. So yesterday was Valentine's Day for us. It's not when you're watching this, but Marvel came out and they gave us a Valentine's Day treat, and they announced the Fantastic Four lineup, which is probably not my most anticipated, but one of my most anticipated Marvel projects in the next coming year.
I saw that on the app called Instagram. I saw a lot of complaining in the comments.
Listen, we got Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic. We have Vanessa Kirby as the Invisible Woman, or Mrs. Fantastic. We have Joseph Quinn playing, what's his name? The fire guy, Johnny Storm. Sorry, I had a brain fart for a second.
Yes, Johnny Storm.
And then finally, we have, oh my god, hold on, my thing pulled up an advertisement. The guy who plays Cousin in The Bear playing the Thing. I'll find his name in a second. But what are your thoughts on the trailer? Not the trailer, the picture. Sorry.
I don't really have any thoughts on it. Really, most of the things that people are mad about don't really affect me. I mean, everything I've seen Pedro Pascal in, I thought he was good in, and everything I've seen Vanessa Kirby in, I thought she was good in, and I have not read a single Fantastic Four comic book, and all the Fantastic Four movies I've seen have been complete dog shit, so
I just want to say
I have really no expectations for this at all, and I mean, if Deadpool 3 goes down under, then I mean, I'd be surprised if we even get this at all. So.
The guy's name who's playing the Thing is Ebon Moss. But yeah, this picture got me really excited because Marvel needs a new team to look upon, because we don't have Captain America or Iron Man anymore. We need to see someone that's the face of the MCU.
Most would say they should have just done it with the heroes that were left over, and they didn't.
But I'm excited that we're going to have a more grounded team. This movie is going to take place in the 60s. It's going to be a period piece. That's why they weren't really around for all these big events.
That's when the Fantastic Four takes place.
So I don't know if the quantum realm keeps them from the 60s and bring them to present day. By the end of the movie, we'll find out. But yeah, I'm really excited to see this coming out in theaters July 2025, within 2 weeks of the new Superman movie that's coming out. So that's kind of cool. We're going to have some cool superhero properties coming in the month of July 2025. And now it is time. We went to the movies a lot this week. Three days in a row.
Yes.
And we saw 3 movies.
Of
very different.
Varying degrees of quality.
Yes. Now, on Tuesday, the day that we had a giant snowstorm, me and Liam went into the Dolby Cinema and watched Dune again before Dune Part 2 comes out in just 2 weeks. I did not like the first Dune. When I saw it back on HBO Max when it first released, I thought it was slow-paced, it was kind of boring, and I was kind of disappointed there wasn't as much action as I thought there would be. And I didn't watch the movie again until I saw it this week. It is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
It is
Wow.
truly one of the science fiction greats. Now, my opinion from this comes from someone who has not read the book, but I immensely respect Frank Herbert for what he did for the genre of science fiction. He was also a journalist, and he had a deep understanding of ecology and economics and political science, and the way he incorporates it all in the Dune is very good.
It was
watching this
in a theater?
in on the IMAX re-release.
So wait, this was your third time watching it in a theater.
Yes.
How good was it compared to the other two?
I think it gets even better on rewatch.
It was crazy. We were one of the only people in the theater. There were 3 other people in that theater in this giant Dolby Cinema. And I felt so bad because it was so good, but you literally could feel every single dimension. Mm-hmm. It was the loudest I've ever felt a theater. Yeah. It was insane.
Shout out Hans Zimmer on the score and the sound design.
How do you do that?
Is that Hans Zimmer's like finest work ever?
He's gonna keep working every day.
It literally might be.
It was amazing. Dune Part 2 is going to be insane. We actually got to see a sneak preview after the credits of Dune Part 2.
And watching Denis talk about like his love for the book and the story of Dune, and like how he specifically wanted to make the scene where Paul rides a sandworm.
He read it in the book, and he wanted to make sure that it was as good as he pictured in his mind.
It sounds like he really cares about the story, and seeing it again on Tuesday, I would definitely love to give Dune a crack before the third movie comes out.
You're gonna read the book?
Yeah. So it seems that they split the first book into 2 parts, and Denis wants to make Dune Messiah.
Oh right, I heard about this. Yes.
As the third movie, there's Dune as like a sprawling universe that was continued even after Frank Herbert died. His estate continued on with the story.
So Dune Part 2 is now getting shown to movie critics, and they're raving about this, saying it's better than the first. We'll have to see if it's good or not in 2 weeks from now, and then hopefully they get that third one up and running so we can get that. It's just crazy that I didn't like it at first, and I kind of hated it until I watched it in that cinema. It's crazy how my opinion can change. That's why the movie-going experience is the best experience.
See, I'll tell you, even if I watched it on my iPhone without any headphones, I would still absolutely love it.
I just love being immersed in Arrakis.
Because the story is amazing, like the way the conspiracy unfolds and the tragic element of it. Because, you know, you're gifted the ownership of Arrakis, which is such a dangerous political undertaking in this world. Because in the Dune universe, it's more of like a feudal kind of empire, like the medieval days, how they were like different like lordships and shit, and seeing Neto, who's Oscar Isaac's character, who gives an absolutely amazing performance in the movie. I mean, every actor's it
was crazy.
Great.
Not one. I don't think anyone was bad.
Yeah,
it was insane.
It's incredible. And just seeing how like how Paul's father, like, he's so hopeful of getting Arrakis, but like he says to his wife, like, before he dies, he wishes they had more time. He thought they were going to, but you know, everyone was in on this conspiracy. Everyone was in on it all working out badly for House Atreides.
It sucks that Dune didn't win Best Picture.
I don't even know who it lost to that year.
All I know is Dune Part 2 is definitely probably going to get nominated from what I'm hearing from the critics. But
He's deserved it with every movie he's made. You
want to know what movie's not getting an Oscar? Madam Web.
Definitely
Madam Web is winning all the Razzies, though, which is basically the anti-Oscars. What a movie, man. I went to Madam Web kind of hopeful after hearing terrible reviews. I was like, I'm going to make the best out of it. I got low expectations now. And somehow it was even worse than my expectations. This movie is one of the worst things I think I've ever seen. It may be worse than Black Adam, which I contend is the worst superhero movie of all time.
Yeah, this movie was just really bad. Nothing made any sense at all. So the whole idea that the main character dies in the beginning and gets her superpowers that way, that's what they did in the Catwoman movie with Halle Berry. So that's a bad sign for
some of the
movie.
Worst dialogue also.
That is a very bad sign for a movie. Yeah, the villain's horrible. So
oh my god, the one line he says?
He gets this piece of technology from the NSA where he can hack into every like camera and audio recording device in the world.
He obtains
this device in the first scene he's in. So you're like, oh, so this guy's gonna be pretty powerful. And then his assistant's like, oh, so we're doing all this to catch
three teenage girls that you think is gonna kill you in your future.
And he can't kill 3 teenage girls. So yeah, you have access to every camera, every recording device in the world.
That refreshes every 3 minutes.
Keep in mind, like there in New York City, in Queens, there's like cameras and audio recording devices all over the fucking city, and he can't catch and kill 3 teenage girls. Yeah, he also kills cops in Grand Central Station, and no one's able to follow through on this. I mean, if a cop in the city gets so much as bruised on the arm, it's on the front page in every newspaper on Long Island. So there's no way this guy killed cops in Grand Central fucking Station and got away with it. It's just, yeah, nothing about this movie makes
These
any
are some of the
sense.
worst writers ever. They are the same people that wrote Morbius, which you did not see, which actually makes this movie, like, Morbius is like The Godfather compared to this movie, and Morbius was not that good. And
I mean,
why does Sony keep hiring these writers?
I feel bad I even gave my money to this movie. I don't even know why I saw it. I knew it was going to be bad, so I
had to see it to believe it, though.
I basically just set myself up to sit here and bitch and complain about it.
But, like, I knew it was going to be bad, but I went in and I was shocked that it got worse than my expectations. I mean,
let's see, what else is horrible about it?
Oh, the girls are so stupid. You go in a forest because someone's trying to kill you, and then you go to a diner and start dancing on a table?
Dude, yeah.
What?
Yeah, so these teenage girls who are alone in Grand Central Station, they go on this train, and a woman says, you, and you, you're gonna die, you need to get off this train. And she ushers you and 2 other stranger teenage girls off this train, and then she starts abducting you guys, and then you see a guy crawling on the ceiling in an all-black suit like a spider, and he starts beating up police officers and killing them in the subway. So then the girl who abducted you guys, who you now know is right, kidnaps you in a taxi and is like,
save
okay,
your lives.
I'm gonna bring you to the woods.
I need to go to the city and check off some stuff.
Yeah, this is the actual plot, by the way. I didn't skip anything.
No.
So she takes them to the woods and she's like, I'm gonna go research this. So you're like, how the fuck do you know about this? But they don't actually say that. They're like, okay, we're gonna stay here, and then they go off to the diner.
I saw a diner.
They're hungry, and then they start dancing. Oh,
look at these teenage boys.
Yes, if you were at a diner and you were a teenage girl, and this diner was in the middle of nowhere after you were just abducted by a stranger,
because you hear Britney Spears,
would you dance on the table of a bunch of other strangers after?
People read through the script and approved of it. How?
Yeah, people wrote this.
It's crazy that
it's crazy.
They didn't want to like just trash it like
the main character of the movie dies in the beginning, and it's like the most casual main character death ever. Like, first of all, a paramedic would not get herself trapped in a car that's falling off a bridge. I mean, you would be the world's most brain dead paramedic, I would have to say. I mean, that's impossible. So yeah, this paramedic in Queens gets trapped in a car that's careening off a bridge, and the car falls off the bridge into a river, and she dies down there, and this one other paramedic goes to rescue her. So you mean to tell me this one guy just prevented a national tragedy, and there's like no crews, no one to follow up? I mean, it's just... And the paramedic scenes are also awful, by the way. As a Long Islander, I've done more treacherous driving in Queens than any of the ambulance scenes in this movie, and that's just a very bad sign.
So this was directed by S.J. Clarkson, who was a first-time director and previously worked on The Defenders and Jessica Jones. Why do you put someone to direct a movie that doesn't have much experience?
I mean, you gotta direct your first.
This is a big budget movie, though. You go with something indie.
I mean,
and now we got Kraven the Hunter. We got Venom 3. I was excited for Kraven.
Sometimes you're a director and you read a script and you're just like, I don't want to work on this.
Well,
so it's like, what are you gonna do? I mean,
So this is your first time you ever watched the Marvel Sony movies. I'm so sorry you had to start on this one. I promise you they get better from this. But now this makes me less excited for Kraven the Hunter and Venom 3, which I was excited for.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know why you were excited for Kraven the Hunter after watching that god awful trailer.
I enjoyed the trailer.
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
Listen, all I know is that I can't believe that Sony just throws this movie into cinemas and thinks it's gonna make money because it's Marvel. You gotta make a good movie first.
I don't want to judge all of Sydney Sweeney's career.
She was not good in this movie compared to anyone but you and Euphoria.
All the actors were doing a bad job, I would say.
I would say
but
the
it's
only
not
person...
their fault. It is not their fault, you know. The directors gotta hone them in and get the performances out of them. So I don't want to blame the actors.
Listen, I gotta say that Sydney Sweeney was not being good in this movie. Like, actually, Dakota Johnson wasn't that good either.
No.
Like, she knew on the press tour. She was kind of hinting that it was bad.
When an actor says, yeah, this is the first time I've had to be on a movie where everything was blue screen and you had to act to someone saying, explosion, you know it's just going to be a bad movie. Again,
So,
I feel bad I even gave my money to this.
I will say Adam Scott was the best person in this movie, who plays Uncle Ben, but a younger version of Uncle Ben. And I gotta say, this plotline was so stupid. With Peter Parker about to be born.
Alright. He was alright.
They kept on teasing that it was Peter Parker being the baby. And it was like, oh, look. Oh, there's this one part of the movie at the very end where Madam Web is like talking to Ben, and he's like, I love being an uncle. It's all the fun without any, like, the work. And then Madam Web goes, oh, you don't even know what's coming, because she knows he's gonna die in the future. What a stupid movie. And they changed with great power comes great responsibility. They changed the line. With great responsibility comes a lot of power.
I didn't even notice that, honestly.
I hate this movie. There's not much to say about this movie besides it was terrible.
I'm probably just not gonna watch another Sonyverse movie.
I thought you were gonna give the Venom movies a chance.
I mean, why would I? What do I really stand to gain?
That first
from
Venom
it?
movie is really good. I'm not gonna lie. It was the best probably of all of the Sony movies.
I've seen a few scenes from it here and there, and it does not really move.
Well,
me.
Venom 3 comes out at the end of the year, and you're gonna have to watch it. So get right into it.
I guess.
Give it a chance at least. If you don't like it, you can let me know. That's Madam Web. All I gotta say is, I know they put a lot of work into this movie, like a lot of the crew, but Sony should not have released this.
If there's one positive about this movie, it's that it gave jobs to the economies of the area. Some cast and crew members got paid and were able to pay their bills.
But it also gave them bad reputation. They're like, oh, you worked on Madam Web, we don't want to hire you.
I mean,
I'm sure it's not going to hurt anyone's career, but it could. I don't know. I think Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, they're probably good, but it could have hurt some of the other actors in there. But yeah, that was Madam Web, guys. If you watched the movie, let me know if you enjoyed it or not. And then we also came back tonight from seeing another movie, Lisa Frankenstein, which I was shocked about. I was not expecting this movie to be that good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This was one of the best rom-coms I've seen in quite a while. It was actually super, super funny.
So I thought it was good, but I definitely was lacking a lot of the horror elements of it. Like if I'm watching something that's appealing to like the aesthetics of like 80s horror movies and all that, I don't want to see the annoying stepmom character just get bonked in the head. I thought when they were building up to that shot of him behind her and him being all zombified, I thought he was gonna eat the mom right there in front of her, and it was gonna be all gory and bloody, and it was gonna be hilarious, but you just don't really get a lot of that element until the end when he cuts Michael's penis off, which, I mean, that was a good scene, but you only really get it at the end. So, I mean, that part was definitely lacking for me, but I felt like the story was very cute and heartwarming.
I thought Cole Sprouse did great.
And I thought Catherine Newton did a much better job in this than Ant-Man Quantumania.
Yeah.
Goes to show when you give an actor more to work with in a character than, Dad, your book is so bad, stop referencing your book. Then an actor can do really good work. I thought her performance was very good, and her character was very relatable.
Yeah, I didn't like her as Cassie. I preferred if they went a different route with the character, but she was definitely much better in this movie, and she gave a great performance.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
I was surprised, though. I was saying earlier, it was super funny. Oh, trailer for Ant-Man started playing. We don't want to hear that. It was really, really funny. I was laughing so much during this movie, and I wasn't expecting that. I'm not someone who looks for horror in my movies. I thoroughly hate horror movies. So the fact that there wasn't really anything scary about this, I was very happy about. I know you're different, though. You love horror movies, but you know the way I am.
The trailers led me to believe I was gonna get a little more of like the aspect of he kills people and she sort of assembles this monster. Like I like the idea that the movie is called Lisa Frankenstein because this corpse sort of becomes her creation, but I feel like they could have gone farther with the idea that he sort of needed to be built up into a beautiful creature. Like he kills the mom and gets her ear, and he kills the dude and gets her hand, and at the end, like, yeah, he gets the guy's dick. And I think that, like, element is funny, but, you know, in the story, I think they could have used that a lot more. And that's not to say that I'm a writer and I know what would have made the story better, but I don't know. It just kind of feels like they had, like, this horror aesthetic, but they didn't really lean into it a lot. Like,
I like that it was set in 1989, though. I thought that was a really cool setting for the movie.
It did lead to a little bit too much Stranger Things isms for my liking. Like, there's some shots where they're in the spooky forest and there's like the neon lights in the background, and it's like,
love the music.
This is looking a little bit.
I thought the music was perfect.
Yeah, and
I was really like vibing with it. It made me want to go back and rewatch Stranger Things, actually, because season 3 is my favorite season. I liked it though. Yeah.
I did not like season 3.
Oh, okay. Why? What's your favorite?
Season 1.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I didn't really mind that that they went really heavy on the 80 vibes.
No, yeah, I thought like the
tanning bed was really cool.
The art direction and the production design was very
I just liked
good.
how they used all of the elements like in the story. But I would say that this was probably the best rom-com in quite a while. I think it's probably the second best I've seen in the last year, right after Anyone But You. I don't know if you're not really into that.
I'm not up on my rom-com knowledge like that.
Some of these jokes that were really funny.
Yeah,
Bro.
I thought the actors were all like really funny. I thought the sister was very funny, and I thought that whole storyline was actually very heartwarming, and I think it is a good message about friendship, how you know the people who are actually nice to you even when like they don't need to be. It's like those people are your real ones. But like I thought that aspect was done very well.
It was a cool movie, and I highly suggest you guys go and check it out. Anything else you got to say about the movie?
I'm gonna give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
We never gave our review for Madam Web.
Yeah, or Dune. But Dune, I'd give a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
I don't really dislike anything about it. Madam Web, I'd give a 0 out of 10. Don't even see it. I should not have seen it. I'm not going to see
I'm giving it a 1 out of 10.
I'm not going to see another Sonyverse movie for as long as I live.
I'm not going to give it a 0 because I was able to sit through it. I didn't have to walk out, so I'll give it a 1.
Yeah.
And then Lisa Frankenstein, I'm going to give probably like an 8.
I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Again, I think they could have incorporated the horror element more into the story. So if they had that, it could have definitely been more memorable for me. But I'm not upset I watched it. I enjoyed it, but it's not something I'll watch again. So give it a 6.5.
I thought Cole Sprouse did great. First time I saw him probably since Riverdale and then Sweet Life. So that was really fun to see. But we have a lot of exciting movies coming up in the next couple of months. I'm excited for the next time we make this episode because that'll be Dune Part 2. I know we're both looking forward to it now. They did push back the Mickey one, right? Mickey. Yeah. So that's not coming out next month.
They put that back in April or May. They delayed that a few months.
We got Ghostbusters coming up, which you got to watch the first one, right? Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, and the ones from the 80s. Those are the first ones.
I think I saw them both, but you don't need to know about them. I would have to go back because I honestly watched those movies back in 2015.
I'll watch both of them for this.
Yeah. And then we got Godzilla at the end of the month. That's exciting. Looking forward for, and that's really it for the next month. And I think that's gonna come to a conclusion for our episode. Are you excited for the next month of movies?
I would say so. Kung Fu Panda 4.
Oh, how did I forget about that? I watched the first one.
You did.
I did. I watched it at work yesterday.
Maybe we'll save it for a video.
For the next time, or not next time because that'll be June. But in 2 episodes from now, we could do our Kung Fu Panda ranking.
Yeah.
I still got to watch 2 and 3, but I'm really excited for them. I kind of remember the first one. I was watching, I was like, wait, this is kind of coming back to me.
It's because there's so many iconic and memorable scenes.
DreamWorks does great stuff.
Sometimes.
The last year has been great. Puss in Boots 2. Trolls 3.
It was alright.
Okay.
Trolls 3, man, come on.
No, you gotta watch it. It was so good. You have to watch it. It was the best Trolls movie. I don't care what anyone has to say. That movie was way better than it should have.
You're getting too passionate about the Trolls franchise.
Just let me take you to a better place.
Singing killed my grandma, that's all I have to say.
They referenced that scene in the new one.
Did they?
Yeah. He goes, yeah, so Grandma died, and then his brother goes, oh, okay, you want to hang out or do something? Oh, wait, Grandma died? From singing?
I mean, is that a reference to the line, or is it a reference to the fact that this guy's grandma is dead?
Watch the movie. It's the best 90 minutes of your life. And that's going to do it, everyone, on Box Office Bros episode 4. Make sure you go and follow us. You can find our links in the subscription down below. Any shout-outs? Shout out to the movie theaters for being open during the snowstorm. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we risked our lives to go see Dune, and it was worth it.
Yes. The popcorn that you ate today, thank you.
Yeah, it was very delicious.
And that's it, everyone. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and it's webbing time.
Sleep very well. To all, good night.
And have a Madam Web night tonight.